Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Paint Minis Live. I'm Bill T, your host down here in the Paint Minis Live Creation Cave. Um, planning on doing some eyes tonight. Well, eyes, faces, nose, just some stuff. We've got some beautiful orcs with some beautiful faces. We got some dwarves with some beautiful faces too. I thought it might be a good time for me personally to just kind of practice the face thing. Um, do a lot of creatures and space marines and stuff with their helmets. So you don't really have to worry about the faces all too much on models like that. But with these little dwarf guys and so on and so forth, they got nice face sculpts. So I was thinking, just slow jams and chill with some nice face sculpts. Uh, would be kind of a nice thing to change it up a little bit. Um, Depending again, that's gonna depend on how the camera kind of reacts because I don't really have like a really good autofocus on that on the cameras. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm just getting my playlist here out of all the royalty free tunes to use on the stream here, and then we'll get to work. All right, let's see here. Da, da, da. I'm also going to check out some settings just really quick here. I'm going to make sure. Okay. So that I hope should do a little better with the music. If you're in the replay, I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday night. Always an interesting time of the week. We're right before hump day, so not all of the super busy has happened yet. But we're probably ramping up for it. Okay. Got my brushes, got some paint. Okay. I'm gonna do, let's see what size are you. Just checking out some brushes here. Got a whole bunch of them. Let's see here. Number 3, number 4, number 1, number 6. And a 0. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and start off with a number 3 ought to do it. Should be good enough to get us some base color on our dwarves. Let's think about skin tones here. I think we're gonna do a couple darker skin tones with, like, we're gonna use probably gray. Picking out some paints here, so yeah, probably a gray. If I can find where I stashed that. I know I was using that just recently too. A dark warm gray. I kind of need more of a lighter one. Black brown. Could do black brown. Okay. Light umber, black brown. I think that ought to do it. Not really seeing anything striking out. Hungar the Starvarian, the one and only, who is on the quest for, what is it, the hamburger of immense magnitude? Something like that. Let me know what it actually is. I was excited to hear about your comic book stuff. How is the Kickstarter going? I'm curious. Ooh, almost at a technical difficulty. Managed to catch a couple of your chaotic neutral streams, by the way. They're pretty fun. You guys like to talk about a lot of stuff. Like all over the board kind of stuff. It's great. Actually need cheeseburger of density, that's what it is. Yeah, Hungar the Starvarian and cheeseburger of density. A little water in the cup, never hurt nobody. We're gonna start off with black brown. We're gonna do a couple of these guys with like a darker flesh tone kind of thing going on, and then we're gonna go and do a lighter flesh tone. So we're only gonna need maybe one large drop of this black brown as our base color. Oh boy. Well, hey, that's yeah, that's definitely a thing. I hope you're recovering well there, Hungar the Starvarian. That can be a lot all at once. Yeah, I hope you feel better, buddy. That's no bueno. How's I'm sure the rest of the hobby community's been checking in for sure. Anya. And I'm hoping you got plenty of well wish. If I could get this camera to focus, it would be really nice. So what's everybody been doing out there in Hobbyland, I wonder? I know the mini Warmut challenge is going on for January here. I have not entered just because it has been a rough like last month was really really rough into basically January. I might I might just I might end up entering just the orcs, Cal's Abyssal orcs, but I don't think I'm going hard in the paint. This time, like I did with the Horde of the Damned, just due to the fact that yeah, I think I need to cool my jets just a little bit, just for now. All right. So we're gonna take our bad boys. We are going to get our next color up for grabs, which is gonna be this light umber. Got 3 test pieces here just to see if the work's clean. Grab a little water. I'm just gonna pull the paint off till I think it's thick enough. So I tend to have sometimes a bit of a difficulty with doing faces, and so what I'll do is I'll add a highlight best I can, using a bit of a larger brush than I kind of should for this right now. That's okay. Just a nice little line on the nose. But anyways, I'm using the just a very fine tip of the brush, and sometimes you get a misstroke or something happens. I'll say okay, just as long as you got a little bit of wet paint on your palette from your previous color, let's go through and try and just paint right over it till it looks nice and thin and crispy, and that's what you do. It's I wouldn't worry too terribly much about making the nice thin line, because you can kind of close in on that as you're working. You can close in on the exact kind of look you're going for, touching up places like their eyes right here, the bridge of their nose. Places like that are kind of hard to get to for doing some highlighting, so never be afraid to come back to your previous color and just get what you need out of it. Actually did a pretty good job on that guy. Might take you a try or two, but that's what makes and separates a good piece from a great one. Just give it a shot. Give it your best shot. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Just gonna grab some of this warm flesh tone here and shake it up. By the way, a big thank you to everybody out here that tunes in, both during the stream, after the stream. It's much appreciated. Oh, hey there. How's it going, Dungeon Minister? Good to see you. Good to see you. I believe Hungar was in here just a little bit earlier. Not sure if he's still around. How goes the editing? And what's new? What you been up to these days? Currently working on some faces at the moment. The Anchorite's cat. Heyo, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, perfect. Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. You got me pumped. I really need a better camera for this, like, up-close work. I have a lot of, like, personal painting that I have to do between... Sorry. I have a lot of personal painting that I gotta do for, before the weekend. My niece, who I play some Dungeons and Dragons and, well, just RPGs so far, but we've played some RPG stuff. She wants to run a one-shot this weekend with minis and some terrain and stuff, so I think tonight I'll be cutting out the terrain on the laser. It's going to be a kind of carnival themed, so I picked up some laser cutting files on Etsy to go ahead and cut out on the laser. I got market stalls, so I thought, you know, the stalls could be like the carnival games and stuff, and it had other little things in there, little boxes and whatnot, set dressing stuff to make that game go. So it's gonna be fun trying to fit all that in before the weekend. How's it going, Light Main? Good to see ya. I appreciate the compliment. We're just kind of messing around with some face styles here. There isn't much of a face on the dwarves. The orcs, on the other hand, some of them have some good facial features to work on as well, which I'm quite happy about. Let's let's see here. Color. This dirty pig pink color is what I've been calling it, but it really is. It's like this kind of sour pink. Well, not sour, more like dirty. Face painting, but not like the county fair indeed. Color could I use to highlight that? That is a good question. I'm thinking I might end up looking for the original color actually, because that would probably help if I knew the original color. Got a transparent brown. I think we're gonna go stick with the pink. Yeah, I think Cal would kill me if I started putting butterflies and rainbows and stuff on his orcs. I'm gonna go with tan flesh. I think this might actually be a pretty good color to do some highlighting with. Or full face Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going. So if you're interested and you're looking around for just some tutorials and stuff on how to paint some basic D&D human fighter stuff, I'm gonna be starting another project tomorrow for a D&D female fighter that Sapphire sent in, and so. You guys are cracking me up. Spider orcs does whatever a spider orc does. But I'll be doing that tomorrow night, starting with the priming, and then I'm just gonna run through a model. I am gonna use the airbrush on some of it, but I do want to kind of format it in a way where it can be it can be used. You can do all the stuff I'm doing with a brush. I'm just doing this for expediency sake, that kind of thing. But I'll be doing that tomorrow night. It's a really nice sculpt, heavy sculpt too. I don't know what exact material it's cast from, but quite a nice cast. Thank you, Sapphire, for sending that in for a nice paint job. We've got, I'll be putting together a list of the requisites for that they wanted for their mini, so we can kind of follow their rules. They kind of had a color scheme in mind, so be painting that up and adding a little artistic flair here and there. Sorry, it's a little bit... Let me rearrange the camera here. I want to make sure you guys get a good look, but I tend to kind of... it's not the best painting posture, but I tend to kind of crouch in on the piece to hold it really steady. So sometimes it gets a little out of focus. So how's everybody doing on Tuesday night? I hope you guys are good. Hope everything's swimming just fine for you. Wonder what everybody's been up to in Hobbyland. I saw some cool stuff. I'm not really a news channel, you know, but you know, this was some news to me, especially since these sculpts are from Mantic Games. I saw they put out a press release stating that they are partnering with 343 Industries, who make the video game Halo, which I have played a lot of as a kid. That was a huge one for me. And they're partnering with them, and they're putting out a new Halo like firefight game. It sounds like, anyways, or at least a tabletop game. I'm not sure exactly what kind of form that's going to take, but they're very excited about it. I'm really pumped about it because I'm super into that, and I am happy to hear that a really nice model manufacturer is going to be making the models for this game. Hey, thanks for the compliment there, Lightmane, about the music. I do kind of like to make that ambiance, that's for sure. Couldn't agree more. I kind of follow the Bob Ross approach, you know. It's kind of that's I take a little inspiration from him, and kind of he has a bit more of the chill and relaxed vibe going on. I'm all for it. Let's see if I can't just follow this edge right here. There we go. Just get us a little highlight here and there. All right. Well, he's got a little extra magic on him. It's all right. Have you seen Lightmane's piano improv sessions? I really enjoy those. I think they're pretty cool. Oh yeah, yep. He keeps your attention, that's for sure. You got to beat the devil out of it. I remember that was a joke back on. Ooh, whoops. Oh, that was a joke a little while ago back on back in the channel. Or back a couple of streams ago. Was gotta beat the devil out of it. I try and keep a little bit of a happy medium, though. You know, somewhere between entertaining, mildly entertaining, and sorry, just kind of getting stuck in there. I really enjoy the pink range from this company just because when you put one on top of the other, they eventually start to fade. Like, kind of just blend right into each other. It looks a bit more stark on the camera than in real life, but you can kind of get the idea. I could see a dungeon minister pulling off some shenanigans with some Bob Ross, like almost like what would it be, like Carrot Top-esque prop comedy? I don't know. It's just he's such a comedian, you know, and I'm surprised that well, maybe you were in another life, or you know, prior to becoming the dungeon minister. But man, just the one-liners hit heavy. I bet you could make some good sketch comedy out of a Bob Ross scenario. So we're really going after the Buddha belly on some of these guys. Just, you know, plop that belly right out there in the open. Gonna make that a thing. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I have no clue where Bob Ross's art really ended up. I think that's just going to be a question for the. I'm sure it's all in either. It might be some in public hands, but my guess is there's probably a lot in private collections. That would just be my guess. It's like, yeah, a lot of private collectors for specifically his art. Let's see here. Well, we had a wrap up to our first campaign as a Hey, I mean, you can if you'd like. I've got. I definitely could. I have a couple commission pieces already, kind of on the deck. The first one being the D&D fighter that I've got from Sapphire, and then I've got TJ's oh boy, I'm gonna ruin it again. I'm gonna do it again, guys. I keep calling it an observer. It's not an observer. It's overseer. No, that's not it either. It's the guy with the big ball with the giant eye and then a bunch of googly stalks coming off of it. I keep every time. Beholder, thank goodness somebody knows. It's like, Paint Minis live trivia. What is Bill describing? It's kind of like that, name that Pokemon section in the Pokemon Kids TV series or whatever the heck. I haven't watched it a lot, but I know that series had come out. Name that Pokemon, and then I should just start handing out prizes if you can figure out what it is. But yeah, TJ's Beholder that I have to do, and then I'd gladly paint up whatever you'd like. By the way, thank you, Dungeon Minister. You're always coming in clutch with that. Oh boy. Like retainer for like your teeth, or retainer for like a lawyer, or like a retainer for like a wall. Yeah, that's kind of an oofta, my guy. But hey, we live and learn, and if you live and if you learn from it, then it was a valuable experience. So in a way, you still came out ahead. That's the way that I look at it, because with how much strange decisions I've made in life, that's all I can tell myself to sleep at night. Yeah. Something, just kind of a pro tip in there. Something I like to do when I'm painting models like this, I'll dip from the palette here, and like on the edges, I'll round off the actual brush part. But then when you're loading that sucker, and getting the paint inside of the barrel, so to speak, what I'll do is sometimes I'll take a little bit and just wipe it off the end. And that'll keep you from just plopping a whole blob of paint right on your mini. And it'll keep giving you those kind of nice crisp lines you're looking for. You know who would be great at doing faces, like painting faces on models, is definitely is definitely gonna be like Sarah would be really good at this. She's done a lot of like makeup stuff in the past, and all this is like makeup style contouring. I think is what I think this would amount to in my mind. Hey, welcome to the stream, Gabe. Calvinoni, the one and only. Yeah, single hair paintbrush for the eyes. I have one, although, like, unless you're really prepped to use one, they're very hard to use. I'll tell you what, like, you want to do, like, single hair. I've got... where is that sucker? I haven't used that in a long time. What you want to do with a brush that thin, by the way, we'll just do a quick little close-up. This is a process. It's like the makeup thing, I'm telling you. Like, if you watch somebody on YouTube, like if you go see one of those, the girls that do, or the guys, whoever, do the makeup thing with the, what is it? Oh boy. I just said the word too. Man, I'm drawing a lot of blanks today. Contouring. But it's kind of that process where you're going ahead and contouring the paint colors like into the model, and eventually you'll only have some of it pop out in certain areas. They do a lot of blending, which isn't going to be quite as possible, you know, with the paint drying the way it will. But you'll end up with some pretty cool results. Little highlights here and there. We'll get some nice little bits and pieces coming out of it. But that is our Orky boy so far. If I can get, would just really like this thing to kind of give me some focus on this this little Logitech C920. Come on, buddy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can kind of see it's a little bright right now, but we're making our way downtown. Right, yeah, they just strap their children to their shields, I'm telling you. Posted 8 of the Dwarves you finished up on the Discord. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see them. I want to see what your take is, because mine has been quite a little experimental, not too far. We're doing kind of opposite color tones on the Dwarves. Speaking of shield heraldry, this guy actually turned out pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Has kind of a cool feel to it. No, that turned out pretty well. Let's see here. Single hair paintbrushes. I believe I just ended up probably throwing that one out, but it was literally a brush cut down to a single hair. This is probably my thinnest brush, and this is a 10-0, so like 10 zeros all in a row, 0 0 0 0. And for comparison, I think I have a 1. I have a 1. Do I have a 0? Yeah, I do have a 0. So in comparison, for size, this is a 0. So they're both very, very thin, but when you like actually get it hydrated, it is like razor thin, this thing. And the paint dries on it so fast. I mean, it literally like that's how thin that sucker can be. The way that you can use those brushes is by using that's gloss varnish, that's crackle medium. You need a paint retarder, and I had a bottle of it hanging around the studio here, and I lost. It's okay. All right. Well, way to go on that show and tell. I'm sure I'll find it here. I got a little spring cleaning to do down in the studio here. But anywho, it comes from Vallejo, similar kind of product in this bottle, same kind of branding and whatnot. But it's a retarder medium. To me, it kind of feels like Dawn dish soap or something. If you've ever gotten it on your hands. But you would basically put like a very small amount of retarder medium on your palette, and then mix it with your paint. It's kind of gel-like in its consistency, but when you add a little water to it, it slows the drying time of your paint down by like a lot. Really great for doing like wet blends and such. Not so much for if you're just trying to get through some standard painting. Lightmane, thanks for coming. Great to see you, as always, and thanks for pumping out those stories. They're a great listen if you haven't heard Lightmane's D&D story. It's kind of a fun chronicle. Almost feels like a recap, but it's all his original story in kind of a D&D themed deal. It's highly entertaining. I'm still making my way through the first book, but it is a great one. I do enjoy it. Percy Block, hello. A lot of the airbrush crowd use glycerin as a retarder. Oh, that's cool. I would come to think of it, that feels super similar. That medium, because I've felt glycerin before. I used to kind of really bad habit, used to do the vape thing. Luckily kind of got out of that, but we're gonna see if we can just kind of feather that in. I had a little too much paint on the brush there, so we're gonna literally try and just make that a little more transparent. There we go. That's a bit better. Nice. But yeah, that it definitely feels like that. It's that kind of consistency, somewhat oily consistency of glycerin. So thanks for that. I'm happy you were here to let us know about that. And to be honest, glycerin is probably cheaper than the little bottle of branded retarder medium. So I'm definitely gonna look into that. I tend to ball on a budget sometimes, so. All right. They all have a ton of babies on their shields. That's like their thing. They love the idea of a meat shield. There's so many of these little guys. Just kind of chilling. I tend to do a lot of moving about when highlighting. I would suggest the same. You know, move your model about. It keeps, for me anyways, my brush hand a little bit steadier. And I tend to use the largest barrel brush I can find, you know. So this one's a 3. It just allows you to have more paint in there to work with and a bit more of an extended time to do it. You know, whatever you're painting. That's been what I've found anyways. But if you're doing some really cool highlights with like a 0 or just whatever brush you can get your hands on, by all means, like, if that's what you can do, do it. If it looks good, that's all that matters. It's, you know... Okay. There we go. Some highlighting done, some faces. We're working our way through this. Yeah. If there's any lurkers out there that haven't, you know, popped into the chat, welcome. I couldn't agree more there, Anchorite Cat. Let me just toss that one up there. Oh, there we go. Not that one. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Lightmane definitely cares a lot about his works, and it really shows. He makes some engaging stories with characters that you get to know along the way, and that, you know, are actually pretty meaningful. You know, that they're pretty relatable characters. A lot of thought, I think, you know, went into his works, and it shows. It does. So I couldn't agree with that comment much more. Let's see what else has gone down in the chat. I've been focusing, friends. I've been focusing. Yeah, indeed. Welcome to the Lounge Cat Hangout. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. They got it in the pharmacy area. All right, cool. I will, I'm gonna be perusing, it looks like. All right. You used every one of those babies on the shields there, Cal, huh? Yeet. Gonna make me work for it, huh? Painting up all the babies. It is kind of cool, though. I mean, it's like, it's funny. Literal meat shield. right. Just going back for a little more paint. I think my brush rubbed up against his sword and it kind of broke the point. So just gonna reload real quick. Well, this guy's turning out pretty nice. This is an interesting helmet shape. Let's see here. There we go. So we'll start seeing when the blending starts happening, especially towards the point where we start washing these guys. I'm kind of banking on that technique for blending in these highlights a bit more. Bloodstains on weapons. That's a great question. Hey, by the way, Cal, I just saw you're talking about you had fun sticking them on. I hope you did. That probably would have been a heck of a lot of fun. Anyways, Gabe, advice on blood stains on weapons. I don't have it down here. I don't think. No, I don't have them down here. There's a couple of different ways about it. You know, you got your standard kind of go-to blood for the blood god Ella Citadel technical line. This stuff is pretty fun. Let's see if I can get a good shake out of her. This one's a little older. Red stained gloss varnish. Yeah, that's basically what's in this pot right here. I think that would see pretty about the same. But yeah, you can do your usual blood for the blood god tactic. What's really fun, I have thought about it for these guys, but especially a dude like this, which to me seems kind of like the war leader here, is this guy with the double skull, or like wearing a skull as a helmet. Just wild, man, just absolutely wild. But since he's got two close combat weapons, I'm gonna take some, like, there's a glue out there, this UHU glue. You can mix it with this blood for the blood god, and use a toothpick to actually like run a little bit between them. It'll dry hard, and you can make it look like he's just totally eviscerated somebody, and the blood is still like coming off the blades. So I think I'm going to try that tactic specifically with the Warlord later on down the line in the paint process. But yeah, you could take, I mean, this gloss varnish, it's a bit, what I like about the blood for the blood god, in comparison with like staining a gloss varnish, you'd have to track down the right manufacturer, because as you can see, that it comes out of the bottle really quick. And on top of that, I'll just use a sponge to show you. It's very liquid. Like it's a pretty thin consistency. Might work out for you if you're looking for more of a like slicked effect, you know, or like a pool of blood. That would work out really well. I personally haven't really totally tried that, but I think my go-to is kind of that blood for the blood god stuff. What else could you do for blood on weapons? If you want to make it look old, like old blood on weapons, just darken up some red a bit, or use like a use some like burnt red, and then yeah, no, that'd be pretty on point actually. come to think of it. And then just use a gloss right over it when it's dry. Just use like a, yeah. Okay. Never mind, I'm coming around to it in real time here. Yeah, gloss varnish with some different color reds would not be half bad. Inks, you could do inks. That's gonna be really watery, but like you could do some inks too and make some. I mean, you could put like just a little bit on there and have it flow down the weapon. That might be kind of be fun. The gory topic and with the narration, right? But yeah, there's some ideas for you. Let's see. We've done quite a few of these guys actually. A whole bunch of them. Okay. Well, we made some extra progress. We've got a couple of dwarves with a bit more of a darker skin complexion that we've done up here. Their helmets kind of hide a lot of that. We'll be doing some beards on them, I'm sure. There's actually a ton of these, a ton more to paint. I've just been focusing on this here little batch because it's been a wild, it's been kind of wild trying to run through a whole nother stack of minis like this. But yeah, I think we made some good progress tonight. It's another step in the process with our orcs, especially this guy's a bit further along, especially with some of like the weathering techniques on the armor that we did with the little foam brush, you know, getting the randomized chipping going on. I think they're turning out pretty well, or you know, they're turning out pretty good so far. Need some more colors in some various places, but we're working on it. Cal, you'll get your minis back in 2025. At this rate. I think I am gonna set aside, like, I am gonna push hard on these guys. I think maybe I think I am probably gonna end up pushing a little tougher on these guys for maybe not this next weekend because I'm going to go do the D&D thing, but maybe like the weekend after. I might just do a hard push and do a streamathon on them and just sit here and bang out like all the orcs and hopefully I'll, you know, get the dwarves to a point where I'm happy about it. I'm still really digging the color changing armor though. The fact that it goes from purple to blue is pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's really gonna pick up on the camera here. Don't focus on me, focus on the mini. Yeah, it's just gonna be a pain. It's on my list. Get a cool camera that can do things like that, but where's the rainbow of color in them orcs? That is a good question. I'm thinking their accent color is actually going to be the same teal kind of jade color we used. Let's see here. I got bright jade, and then where's the other one? Yeah, so we got jade and bright jade, the jade twins that we're going to be doing up on the orcs as accent colors on their armor. I'm just happy to contribute to the collection, Cal. It's really cool that you have such a passion for collecting minis, and I'm all for it. So, you know, I'm just happy to be part of it. That's all. Does anybody have any questions about anything before we kind of wrap up for tonight? If so, just let me know in the comments in the next minute or two here, and we'll get you sorted. Yeah, the Pro Acryl paints there, Cal. I've fallen head over heels for them. I really have. Although, like I keep telling myself, I really want to try out the um uh what is it, speed paints from Army Painter. They also have some new stuff, the Fanatic paint line too. So I'm just gonna once I get another paycheck in me, I might just dip into some discretionary funds and go ahead and get the Fanatic and the speed paint stuff to try out. Which would be really cool. I would love to talk to you some more about that because I know that you use a lot of, you've done a lot of work with the speed paints, and you found some good success with that. Your work speaks for sure. If you haven't checked out the Paint Minis Live Discord, I'll drop another link for it, and you can go ahead and join that. Yeah. If you want to see Calvinoni's spectacular works on there with some of the speed paint techniques that he's checked out. The Anchorites cat, you stepped away for a moment and Bill normalized Gore. I thought Gore was pretty normal to start with. The guy was just kind of talking about like climate change and stuff, but I don't know. What do you do with that? I know what you're talking about though. It's something like a lot of people like to add Gore to their models. You'd be surprised. There's some really cool artists out there that literally specialize in just the Gore part of it. It is a thing. Let's see here. I should probably start using the world's tiniest keyboard now that stuff's coming in. How are the parents doing? They're good. Dad's home. Mom's doing well. They're in their new place. They're kind of unpacking at their pace. They've got they've got furniture in there finally. It's been really cool to watch them kind of make that place their home, and I'm excited to go and see it with my own eyes. The only thing that bugged me in that place was when they got there, they got these like big they had these big boxy things over the windows that were like these, it was kind of like upholstered kind of puffy thing over the windows, had this kind of odd shape to it, kind of like a what the heck is that called? It's like one of those curly brackets or whatever kind of shape to it. It looked like a funeral home. I had to take them all down. I kind of left them with the mess, but I couldn't stand it. They're doing well though. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. There are many collectors out there, and there are... Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let me check it out. There are mini collectors out there and paint collectors as well. Indeed, I kind of fall under both. I bought basically the whole kitchen sink for Pro Acryl. I liked it so much. Yeah, the parents are all moved in now finally. Indeed. Just saw a new video where the guy recommended some specific Pro Acryl pots. I will admit, they have pretty, like, the line is pretty consistent. I think there's only like maybe a couple paints in here that I have found that I actually have to tweak what I'm doing to them, like either adding more water to thin it or not. I'm just looking at them all because I'm trying to figure out if there's any ones in specific that jump out at me. Yeah, okay, here we go. Bright yellow green. I was using this on a leaf pin, like a pin that I cut out on the laser that was the shape of a leaf. So I wanted to paint it green. I use this bright yellow green. It is, let's see if we can maybe get a little ASMR going real quick here. I'm gonna kill the music. Listen to how thin this is. You can kind of hear the agitator, but yeah, it's pretty thin. I have to say, and so it's just a couple. It's just a couple. The rest of it is really consistent. You don't have to worry about it, and everything runs through either an airbrush with the right, if you thin it correctly, it'll run through an airbrush. It works fine with just your standard brush. It's a great. They do great paints. Let's see what else we got. It looks like I have not caught quite up with the chat. Calvinoni with 200 paints as well. There you go. There you go. I think you are the collector, one of the collector celebrities in here. There, Cal. You and Collecting Chaos. Man, I miss Collecting Chaos. I haven't seen Collecting Chaos in a little bit. But yeah, Collecting Chaos too. You just counted at 176. Well, thanks for going through the counting. That's awesome. That's great. Prior to getting all the Pro Acrylic paints, I just had a mishmash of everything. I had everything from like, I still use every now and then these MSP HD Master Series paints from Reaper. Well, I think they're Reaper. Yeah, they're still owned by Reaper. The Master Series collection or whatever. Those are fun paints too. Really easy to use. What else? What else? Not much else, unfortunately. Hey, whatever works there, Dungeon Minister. Whatever works. I think I might end up just having to send you some. Yeah, I think I might end up having to send you some with the next box that goes up to Canada. I'm sure there will be another, so I'll have to send you some. All right, everybody. Well, I think again the streams are a little bit shorter, but I'm trying to be a bit more consistent. I do a ton of stuff off stream, and so while painting is a big priority in life for me, I do a lot of stuff, and so I'm just shortening the time a little bit on the streams so that I can kind of keep a quality of life balance going, at least for the time being. But I do appreciate everybody for being here. If you're in the replay, thank you very much for joining us all the way to the end. And I hope to see you back again for more. Bill's hatching a plan. No doubt about it. I'm always planning. I'm a planning kind of guy. City planning, waste management planning, toilet paper planning. I'm your guy for a plan if you need it. You like giving Stradivariuses to a toddler. All right, fair enough, Dungeon Minister. And thanks for being here. The Anchorite's cat, the Dungeon Minister, Calvinoni, the one and only, Percy Block, very nice to see you. Let's see here, as well as Lightmane made an appearance. Gotta love Lightmane and his cool stories. Gabe Parada, sorry. Thanks for being here, much appreciated. I hope to see you back again. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. We'll probably be doing something a bit easier on the camera, so you can kind of enjoy the art a bit more. Who else was in here? And Hungar the Starvarian, who had just gone to the hospital and had surgery on Friday and is also having surgery tomorrow. Only the best thoughts for Hungar the Starvarian. and I hope for a speedy recovery for you, and much love from PML, and I'm sure everybody here. Hungar the Starvarian is always on the prowl for the cheeseburger of density, as he reminded me. He's got a comic book that he wants to produce. It's on Kickstarter. You can find it over on Hungar the Starvarian's channel. I'm gonna before we end the stream, real quick. I'm just gonna post one of his comments up here. There we go. The cheeseburger of density, always on the prowl for. If you haven't visit Hungar the Starvarian's channel, just tell him PML sent you. Just if you even if you're not into whatever he's got, just leave a comment. Just said PML sent you. If you're more interested in Hungar the Starvarian, who's quite the character himself, you can check out he's got links, I'm sure, on his Chaotic Neutral live stream, where you can go ahead and take a look at the Kickstarter for his comic book, which I'm sure will be hilarious because the man himself is absolutely hilarious. Anyways, all of that rambling aside, thanks again for being here. I'm Bill T with PML, and we'll catch you in the next live stream, which will be not tomorrow, the next day, the 11th. Yeah, that's right, math. All right, we'll see you on the 11th. Take care, everybody.